I hope you've enjoyed the day today as much as I have, as well as yesterday. That's perfect, thank you so much. I have had such a good time listening to everybody's stories, and it really excites me when women work together and achieve so much. So please give yourselves a round of applause. So the age of abundance. Every minute of every day, we are absorbing information at vast amounts. Good information, bad information, but we focus on the negative. We focus on the negative stories. What is that famous media saying? If it bleeds, it leads. Well, that's one of the reasons why we focus on the negative. It's because we're human. As human beings, our primary objective is to be safe. So all this information, its first stop is at something, it is a place in our brains that it's called the amygdala. The amygdala is responsible for our fight and flight response. It's that early detector of danger. It absorbs all the information and then sorts through it and decides if there's anything out there that is going to harm us. So this is why we focus on the negative, just because we're human. And it's no wonder we think the world is actually getting worse. But is it really? According to the World Economic Forum, there are more trees on the planet than there were 35 years ago. We heard Dr. Motsepe speak about the decline in transfer of women to child AIDS. We know, we are living in the corporates, we know that there are more women in leadership positions than ever before. And just last night, history was made. The first female referee officiated a major soccer European, I think it was the UEFA Super Cup, of a male match. Yes, I am a Chelsea supporter, and yes, we did lose, but the world is still a great place. So maybe it's time we looked at things differently. Maybe it's time we think a little differently. We are in the throes of the fourth industrial revolution. And the fourth industrial revolution doesn't just bring with it a bit of digital transformation. Exponential technologies are disrupting everything. Part of this is because these exponential technologies are advancing at such a pace and being built upon at the same time. And it's really difficult for organizations, normal organizations, to actually keep up at the rate of change. When information is digitized by these exponential technologies, it causes the blurred line between what's physical, what's digital, and what's biological. And so we are all going to be disrupted. No industry will be saved. So the first three industrial revolutions all had a massive transformation effect on society. But in his book, Klaus Schwab, who's the founder of the World Economic Forum, in his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, he writes that no industrial revolution The fourth industrial revolution is unprecedented in its scope, its scale, and its complexity. And this is due to the pace at which technology is changing. So what is the new organization that's going to respond to this? The shift from scarcity to abundance. The traditional organizations are designed around scarcity. We create value around selling goods and services that are limited in supply. That's Economics 101. I see the clever lady looking at me. That's Economics 101. What exponential technologies do, it creates abundance. And this abundance starts to diminish your physical restrictions. So a great example of this is when we, and those of you that will remember Kodak, we used to have film. When you developed one photo, it cost us R1 for argument's sake, R1 for one photo. When we developed 12 copies of the photo, it then cost us R12 for 12 photos, and so on. These days, one photo cost me the same as 12 photos. And the 12 photos, or the 12,000 photos, I can then share on Instagram to my 3 million followers at absolutely no charge. So when we're looking at the opportunity that we create by technology and leveraging these exponential technologies, the opportunity is absolutely enormous. So what does the new organization look like that's going to leverage this abundance and this information explosion? It's called the Exponential Organization, or the EXO. So you'll hear me refer to it as an EXO. And the exponential organization is designed in a way that leverages this information. It exploits this technology so that it can deliver an output 10 times that of its peers. So Salim Ismail wrote the book Exponential Organizations, in which he actually studied exponential organizations for several years, and he came up with a list of attributes that actually make up an exponential organization. So how do you become an exponential organization? What I'm going to go through with you now with examples is how to design an EXO. I'm not going to have time to take you through how you would implement an EXO, but you can implement. In fact, you can get to MVP within 6 weeks, your minimum viable product, and you can get to launch within 10 weeks if you follow Salim's open source methodology. Yes, it's open source. It's not 100 million rand over 2 years. It's open source. It's free. Okay, sorry, Okay, so the designing your EXO starts with your massive transformative purpose, or your MTP. Basically, this is the why, overarching what you do and why you do it. On the purple side, you have the 5 externally focused attributes, which is scale, staff and demand, community and crowd, algorithms, leveraged assets and engagement. This helps your organization to leverage that external abundance. On the green side, you have all the internally focused attributes, and that's idea. So, interfaces, dashboards, experimentation, autonomy, and social. What this does is help you to manage that abundance so that you can drive culture, which is the underlying challenge that everybody has with digital transformation and transforming to an exponential organization. So let's dive into what an MTP is. An MTP is not a vision. An MTP is not a mission. It is a massive transformative purpose. Firstly, it's got to be big and audacious, and it's got to be inspiring. It's got to be transformative. It actually has to make a huge difference, either to a business, a community, maybe even the planet. And it's got to have purpose. You've got to understand why. Why are you doing the work that you're doing? And in keeping with our sponsor, Google has a really great MTP. There's this organize the world's information. And my favorite, I have to say, is XPRIZE, radical breakthroughs for the benefit of humanity. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's start with staff and demand. So we just had a conversation at our table, and people were saying, people don't want to work in offices. I've only worked in an office. I don't know what it's like. By the year 2030, 50% of the workforce will be freelancers. Most of the bright people don't work for you, no matter where you are. Guys, even if you're Elon Musk, the brightest people don't work for him. I'm afraid. So staff on demand is about decreasing those costs of the people, the staff that you have, and then those related infrastructure costs. And you use people who you've obviously pre-qualified as and when you need them, i.e. on demand. So Fiverr is an excellent example. Does everybody know Fiverr? So Fiverr is a platform where you can go and do pretty much anything. What you do is, as a freelancer, designer, etc., you can go to Fiverr and have a logo designed for as little as $5 or as much as $500. It depends on what you're looking for. It depends on how much you can afford. But you don't have to employ a graphic designer or all these other fancy, cool people that do this stuff. And so the first one is staff on demand. The second, no. There we go. So the second is community and crowd. Community and crowd is about leveraging abundance and creating communities around the globe of individuals who are like-minded and aligned to your organizational MTP. So these people will get involved because they align to what you're trying to achieve. With this one, I've included engagement because XPRIZE uses these attributes really, really well. Engagement is how you keep your community engaged. You can use technologies like gaming, prizes, and that's again why I love XPRIZE. They just leverage the attributes really, really well. So XPRIZE is, anybody heard of XPRIZE? Nope. So XPRIZE are a company, instead of employing people and paying, for example, $20 million to employ people and have them transform CO2 into valuable products, what they do is they put it out to the globe. Anybody is allowed to enter the competition. The person or people or team or consortium who brings up this, who wins the transforming CO2 into valuable products, wins $20 million. So they don't have staff sitting and doing this. They leverage the community of the globe. Anybody, my daughter and I, can decide to put together a team to go and try and solve that global humanity problem. Another one, and you can go onto the website, these are actually current competitions that XPRIZE is doing. This one, it's for $1 million and it's to transform 1 million lives through literacy. How cool is that? Okay. The next one is algorithms. I mean, who does algorithms better than Google, right? Artificial intelligence is not going to replace us. It's going to enhance us. It does already. Hey Siri, call Aaron George. How cool is that? It's really basic and silly. But guess what? I had a personal assistant do something for me that was not a human being. And this is like the basics of AI. So yes, guys, AI is in our lives already. Sometimes we don't even realize the extent to which it's part of our lives. Leveraged assets. Marriott wants to add 30,000 hotel rooms in 2014. We will do this in 2 weeks, said the CEO of Airbnb. Leveraged assets is the attribute where the organization or the platform or the EXO doesn't actually own the assets. Marriott owns all the assets. They own all the hotel rooms. If they want to add 2 hotel rooms, they've got to go and get a builder, they've got to go and get a carpenter, they've got to go and get everything that they need to. Airbnb, all they do is source their community and they leverage our assets. Is there anybody in the room that actually has properties on Airbnb? Well done, excellent. Side gig, the future of working. We're all going to have side gigs. We're all going to have portfolio lives. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to move to the internal attributes of the exponential organizations. And these are the attributes that help us to manage the abundance and drive culture. So the first is idea, which is interfaces. So in order to engage with our customers, how do customers want to engage with us, and how do we actually exchange information with each other? So I don't know how many people in the room either played with Pokemon Go or had kids who played with Pokemon Go. Anybody? I'm hearing some yeses. Now imagine if Pokemon Go said you had to come to the Top Women Conference from Sandton, you had to jump in your car, you followed your Pokemon Go all the way to Top Women Conference, and your Pokemon Go was not in the room. You'd be pretty damned upset, right? And that's the thing about interfaces, is making sure that the data is reliable and it's there when your customer actually needs it. So dashboards. Dashboards are, sorry about that. Dashboards are all about being able to keep people informed and being open with everybody within the organization. Who can wait for a monthly report? Who's going to wait for a quarterly report? Decisions need to be made now. If something in the external environment is changing and we need to adapt, we need to have dashboards and information available in a way that we can actually use them now. And everybody within the organization needs to know, if we are driving towards a goal or an objective, we need to know where we are now. We need to know how we are tracking, and that's how we actually motivate people. People need to be informed, and dashboards, accurate dashboards, is how we do that. It's one of the things. Which one is this? IDE, experimentation. So we've all heard of things like design thinking and agile software development. And these are the types of tools that leverage the build, measure, learn part of the cycle. So with experimentation, we come up with an hypothesis for a new product. I assume that the lady sitting here in the table in front of me is wearing grey and she's wearing silver. I come up with the hypothesis that beautiful black ladies' favorite color is grey. It's an hypothesis. We have to go and experiment and prove and validate our hypothesis. Is it right? Is it wrong? Once we talk to the customer, ma'am, what is your favorite color? White. Guess what? It's not grey. Back to the drawing board. I learned that beautiful black women are not, grey is not all their favorite color. This one is white. Maybe that one is a different color. Back to the drawing board. Actually, it's not, one of them was white. Hello, the sample maybe was wrong. Back to the experimentation, back to test the new hypothesis. And so you experiment and experiment on your hypothesis until you get to a minimum viable product. And Dropbox is one of the organizations that have done this really, really, really well. Autonomy. Autonomy is about internally trying to get innovation going, working around the people that are going to be your immune system. If you work for Liberty Life, one of my ex-clients, by the way, if you work for Liberty Life, when you are trying to make changes, there are going to be people in the organization that are going to say, I don't do it that way. This is the way I've done it for the last 65 years, and this is the way I've always done it. And that's where autonomous teams come in. You want to bring and put together teams from across the organization, from various levels of the organization. Put them together and let them work autonomously away from the core business so that you don't have people that are stopping the innovation all the time. And I love the saying, those who say it can't be done should get out of the way of those who are doing it. Isn't that so accurate? I'm almost there. I'm definitely getting all my discovery steps today. Okay, the last and final one is social media. This one I love. I personally use Office 365, but my customers need me to use lots of other social and interactive collaborative technologies. But what social technologies do is when you are building these massive communities that are based anywhere on the planet, you've got social technologies that can help you to link. So video technology like Zoom, Skype as well does great video. Google Drive, oh my word, Google Drive is brilliant for collaborating on documents simultaneously. So you can have up to 10 users. Well, I don't know the proper amount, but I've been in a situation where we've had 10 of us editing a document at the same time. I was in South Africa. There was a guy in Denmark. One was in Germany. 2 were in Mexico, and 1 was in Australia. All at the same time. So it really, again, it provides the opportunity. We don't have to work with the people in the room. We don't have to work with the people in our organizations. We can work with anybody on the planet, anybody that you want. Can I get an amen, please? Okay, so again, where's the opportunity for us women in all of this? So it's twofold. On the one hand, we've got people like me who have started a small business that says, okay, I'm going to start a business today. And you sit down and you think, shit, I don't have a laptop. I'm sitting at my dining room table and there's no IT department to say, woohoo, can I please have a laptop? So off you traipse and you buy yourself a laptop. Then you think, oh wait, hold on, that needs Office 365. Ping, online, Office 365 it is for like 1,000 Rand a year. In the past, it was big organizations like Standard Bank that had to go and buy an ELA that cost millions of rands that, afforded us the opportunity to work on products like Office 365. Not anymore. And again, I mentioned Fiverr. If I needed a designer to design a logo for Verve Digital, minimum $5, and it could have been anybody, anywhere on the planet. India, the US, Australia, the Arctic. So that's the one side of opportunities for women. The other opportunity is that leveraging these exponential attributes, we can design massive organizations and make lots of money and have a purpose with the exponential technologies and all the resources that are available to us. So you'll see in 2019, up until May, there were already 10 female organizations, unicorns founded by women. They got $1 billion investment, and I'm going to show you 2 of them. But before I do show you the 2, I'm going to give you a short description of what the businesses are. And once I've told you that, I'm going to ask anybody to take a stab at what attributes you think these organizations have leveraged. So the first one is really, really cool. This is Rent the Runway. Female-founded organization. Last month was given... Oh, I didn't see this. Last month was given $1 billion to scale their business. What they do is you can pay them $40 or $80, no, $40 a month or $80, it depends on the package that you take, and they will share with you, can get 4 items in the month. If you send back 2 items, which they pay for the logistics and the dry cleaning, they will send you another 2 items, depending on obviously what your package is, but I'm using 4 as an example. So on a monthly basis, you spend your $40 or $80, you get your 4 outfits, which might end up being 10 outfits if you actually change it within the month. So what attributes do you think Rent the Runway have leveraged? And guys, really it's just a stab, it's not a test. Pardon? Styling, that too. That too. But out of the EXO attributes, what do you think? Masachaba, leveraged assets. Why do you say leveraged assets?
What they've used is leveraged assets. And the reason I say this is none of the clothing belongs to them. The clothing belongs to other people. And us in the room have the opportunity to rent those outfits and take them back.
Very good.
It works very
good.
similar to Airbnb.
Yeah, very good. Very, very, very good. Anybody else? Do you think maybe community and crowd? Do you think people are rating and saying, oh, this looks great, use it? Do you think they're reviewing? And then what about algorithms? How do I go and search for clothes that I like, or do you think maybe I get a recommendation that says, Charlene, we saw that you like this skirt, maybe you should try those pants with that top, etc. Okay, one more. Glossier. Does anybody know Glossier? They are a cosmetics company, online cosmetics company, and you pretty much buy cosmetics from their online store. They have a community, hint, 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 which they leverage to sell their products. So instead of the CEO of Estee Lauder saying, Charlene, I know your skin. I think you should be using this blush and this foundation. I have a friend who I know has similar skin to mine that's on the platform, or maybe it's somebody sitting in Australia, a friend in Australia that's moved to Australia, like many of our friends are doing. And maybe she says, Charles, this is absolutely incredible. Use it if it's, if you've got oily skin, dry. And you know what? Like I said earlier in the presentation, these community platforms build trust because it's all about openness. If you're doing something badly, somebody will tell you and everybody else is going to hear. It's like the Uber drivers, it's like Airbnb. Anybody want to take a stab at the attributes that are leveraged? Yeah, definitely. Community and crowd. Why?
So it's like you said that they're using the knowledge of the people outside in the community to subscribe to a certain tone of makeup or blush. So you don't necessarily have to go into a store to get a tryout, but rather you entrust your community that you're engaging with that the tone and the makeup that you are purchasing is actually the right and the perfect fit for your skin tone.
Excellent. People watch out for Liberty. Liberty is about to become an exponential organization. Oh, sorry, I was just helping you out there. So there are also lots of opportunities, again, going back to the way we see the world. Ladies and gents, there are lots of opportunities out there for us. The problem facing venture capitalists right now is they can't find sustainable businesses that are designed for the future. i.e. they can't find exponential startups, or there aren't enough for them to invest in. There is loads of money available for us. So there's a massive opportunity. Come up with an idea. Embrace your crazy. Be as crazy as hell. Embrace it and come up with ideas that are going to make you your first billion. So in closing, I would like you, please, if you remember nothing from this presentation, please, these are the 3 books upon which my whole presentation is based. What I've been through with you are the attributes of the exponential organization. You can also go and look at the book called Exponential Transformation, where they show you how to implement the attributes that I've shared with you. So the 3 books I'd recommend for you to go and read are Salim Ismail's Exponential Organization, Abundance by Peter Diamandis, and The Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab, the CEO and chairman and founder of World Economic Forum. And I'd like to leave you with my personal MTP, which is to build a mindset of prosperity for people in Africa to live a life of abundance and purpose. Thank you.